On this episode of How to Do Florida, Chad is skating along the surf's edge and riding the glide. Oh yeah, we're hanging loose with one of the youngest warriors of wave riding as we show you how to do skimboarding.
Hey, that's pretty fun. Good job, dude.
Then it's the 500-year anniversary of Ponce de Leon's discovering Florida. So Chef Justin Timoneri is showcasing the foods of Florida's native people and the early Spanish explorers.
I claimed this land for Spain. Fire ants. Oh my gosh.
And later, Chad strapping on the harness and digging his heels into the sand in a fight with an offshore monster.
You need big tackle and big bait.
This is How to Do Florida.
Today we're showing you how to do skimboarding.
Hydroplaning along the water's edge and charging down the sand to rush the breakers are the unsung warriors of wave riding. Skimboarding dates back to the 1920s, when lifeguards used flat wood boards to quickly move down the beach. Today, it's a full-on competitive sport. Using aerospace technology, today's skimboard is a high-tech piece of equipment designed for lightness and buoyancy, allowing riders to not only skim, but also ride on the waves. So to find out more about how to ride the glide, we headed to Florida's skimboarding epicenter.
Today we're at Melbourne Beach, which is actually a barrier island. It separates the Indian River Lagoon from the Atlantic Ocean.
Melbourne Beach is on Florida's Space Coast, located about an hour east of Orlando. As for me, I have my own skimboard, which I handcrafted myself in shop class back in middle school. I named her Skims a Lot. So my producer arranged for me to meet up with my skimboarding expert. His name was Roman Hagar.
Hey, excuse me, kid. I'm looking for a skimboard professional. His name is Roman. He's supposed to meet me
I'm
here.
Roman.
You're Roman?
Yeah.
Dude, you're like a little toddler. How old are you?
8 years old?
You're 8 years old.
Yeah.
At that moment, all I could think of was some producer's gonna pay for setting me up with this kid. But as it turns out, Roman's no ordinary kid. This skimboarding phenom picked up skimboarding at a young age of 6. He's been shredding the shallows ever since. Known as the Lord of the Board, he wins skimboarding competitions all over Florida. Roman is also the youngest person to ever get a professional sponsorship for skimboarding.
What is it about skimming that you just love?
I like to get outside and I love the water, so it gives me an ability.
So I brought my board. This is a state-of-the-art. This is called a Skims a Lot. This is what I learned on. Watch the dragon tail do its thing. It's a dragon tail and allows you to spin. These were my sponsors. Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard. These were my heroes.
What's Def Larry?
Def Larry, that's Def Leppard. Oh my gosh.
What is this, from the 80s? This is not a real board. It might have been in your days, but not in our days.
This is tough to handle. So you're saying I should not use this today?
No.
Are you ready to skim?
Yep.
You don't look ready.
I'm ready.
You're always ready to skim.
Yes, I
Let's
am.
skim, buddy.
Step 1, picking a skimboard.
No skimboarding trip to Melbourne is complete without a stop at Skim City. This place looks small, but actually it's the biggest skimboarding retailer in the world.
The cool thing about skimboarding is how little you need to get started. Just pick up your board, grab a bar of surf wax, and you're ready to go skim.
Lots of boards. This is my new board right here.
Yep, it's made out of carbon fiber, very light, so you can get out there in the waves.
Wow. This is super light. Okay, so what should I do with this?
Throw that piece of firewood over there and let's go skim.
Step 2, balance and foot placement.
We put our board down and come back a few steps.
Okay.
We run, jump, and it'll slide. Then you get your balance.
I'm just gonna run and jump on it.
Yep.
Is this necessary, me getting down like this? Is this necessary?
Go, 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 go.
Welcome to Roman Hagar's Skimming School of Hard Knocks.
Roman!
I want to teach you about foot placement.
Okay, foot placement. That seems like that should have come at the front of the lesson.
So you want to put your feet in the middle of the board
But right here,
and then bend your knees.
bend your
there.
knees.
And then...
Not like this. This isn't cool anymore, right?
No, that's surfing.
That's surfing.
The final step for good balance and foot placement is wax and traction.
What you have to do is like go around in circles all over the board. Wax on, wax off, Chad.
Now, when did you see that movie? I know you've never seen that movie.
What movie?
Step 3, take the leap of faith and start skimming.
kid's good. It's amazing, these boards now, they're so thick. You have so much flotation, especially for people like Roman who weighs, you know, Roman, what do you weigh, 8 pounds?
If you're an older gentleman like myself, falling on a skimboard, well, there's nothing more humiliating because you are on display for all to see. Unlike Roman, I'm an adult and not made of rubber. Everything in my body was screaming to not do it again. But with Roman's encouragement,
Believe in yourself, Chad.
I tried again. And pretty soon, I was skimming.
Woohoo!
Once I had my balance, it was time to try skimming along the flat shoreline.
See where it's slick? You run.
Oh my gosh, the kid is rubber though. Makes it look so easy.
Ready, set, go, 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 go.
Right here?
Yeah. Go.
Right here?
Go.
Right now?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For my final exam, it was time to charge the breakers.
Hey, that was fun.
This is how you get more speed. You do it one step. He needs some work, but he got potential.
Never worked so hard to please an 8-year-old.
So skimboarding's come a long way since my Skims-a-lot days back in the 80s. It's a board sport that's come of age.
Roman, great day.
Thanks.
Hey, before you leave, can you sign Skims a lot for me?
Yeah.
And as for our little Florida phenom, I don't think we've seen the last of little Roman.
Roman Hager, keep skimming. Ha! Good job, dude.
In fact, it's talents like him who are taking this once uncelebrated beach activity and bringing it into the spotlight as a legitimate sport deserving of respect and recognition. Hey, and once you get the hang of it, there's nothing quite like riding the glide.
Keep skimming, yo.
For more information on skimboarding, go to our website at howtodoflorida.com.
Still to come, Chad's in an epic battle with an apex predator of the deep.
Oh, there he is, baby.
But first, we're time traveling with Chef Justin to see what Ponce de Leon and Florida's Native Americans were cooking up for dinner as we celebrate Florida's Viva 500.
Florida is an agricultural
juggernaut.
what he said.
You're watching How to Do Florida, and we'll be right back. How to Do Florida!
Today on the show, Ponce and I
Okay.
are celebrating 500 years of Florida agriculture.
Oh, my head's still ringing. On this Florida cooking segment, Chef Justin and I are looking at Florida's food history.
And what a history it is. Look at all this amazing stuff.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible. You know, it's Florida's amazing climate and weather conditions that allow us to grow all year long, and especially during the winter months for the entire eastern United States.
So, Chef, is this your work?
Yeah, absolutely.
You laid this out?
Yeah, I didn't grow it, but I laid it out.
You laid it out. Is it alphabetical order? No, it can't be. We've got zucchini
No,
over
no.
here, got oranges over here. And amazingly, this is just a small sample. You know, I didn't know that Florida produces over 300 agricultural products and they're distributed all around the world.
That's correct. Pretty amazing feat.
Absolutely amazing. Powerhouse. Florida is an agricultural,
Juggernaut.
what he said.
If Florida has a founding father, there's no doubt it would be the great Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon. 2013 marks the 500-year anniversary of when this courageous conquistador discovered the new land he would name La Florida, Land of Flowers. To commemorate this historical milestone, the Sunshine State has launched Viva Florida 500, a year-long celebration with cultural and heritage events hosted throughout the state to honor Florida's New World discovery in 1513.
So, Chef, why is Florida such a great place for agriculture?
Well, that's a great question. Well, it's a combination of several things. Our climate, our weather, our soil conditions. It's like the perfect storm for growing all year round.
Okay, that's a good little factoid, but did you know that Florida is number 2 in squash production?
Florida is number 1 in the production of snap beans.
Oh, we were doing a little game here, a little
That's
factoid
right.
game?
Yeah. What do you
Okay.
got? What do you got?
Let's see, let me recall. Florida, the corn industry, over $100 million every year. What do you think of that?
Wow.
What do you got?
You've been studying a
I
little
have
bit,
been
huh?
studying, yeah.
Not bad, not bad. But tomatoes are the second leading crop in
man.
the entire state of Florida.
You went tomatoes. I can't believe you went tomatoes.
I know. What do you have now?
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
Sugarcane, number 1. Go.
That's pretty good.
Your turn.
I got over $230 million worth of seafood coming out of the state of Florida every year.
Wow. Did you know that Florida is awesome? Huh? Did you know that? Huh?
That I did, my friend. That's why I
you
live
did that
here.
one. All right, you win, Chef.
When Ponce de Leon waded ashore on Florida's east coast, he may not have found the fountain of youth, but what he did find is a land of abundance. The native peoples of Florida enjoyed a rich bounty provided by the land and sea. Wildlife, along with fish, shellfish, and crabs, were a large part of their diet. But they also grew squash, cucumbers, beans, and corn. European explorers were often shocked at the size of Florida native Indians, who were tall and powerfully built. Most agree this had a lot to do with their healthy diet, thanks to their skilled farming methods. Later, when the early settlers began arriving in Florida, they planted many of the fruits and vegetable crops that we still grow today.
Florida without citrus is not a place I want to be.
Don't want to be there.
I've got another one for you.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Yes, we're citrus fact smackdown.
We're doing it again. What do you got?
Number one. What is Florida number one in? Grapefruit production, y'all.
Daddy God.
You knew that.
The citrus industry is the leading agricultural industry in Florida. Booyah!
Ponce de Leon planted the first orange trees in St. Augustine. The citrus, which he brought from Spain, flourished in Florida's sandy soil. And by 1736, citrus was already being commercially grown and exported to the northern colonies, and even to foreign countries. Old Ponce couldn't have known those citrus saplings he stuck in the ground would blossom for his beloved La Florida. Growing citrus is now a $9 billion industry and Florida's #1 agricultural product. In 1521, Ponce de Leon led an expedition back to Florida with plans to set up a colony. He brought a small herd of Spanish Andalusian cattle. These were the first cattle to ever set hoof in America. They were a robust, heat-tolerant breed. They were resistant to parasites and flourished on the low-quality forage of the Florida landscape. As more settlers made their way to Florida with large herds of Spanish livestock, the first North American cattle ranches were born. By the late 1800s, Florida was America's leading cattle exporter, and the Spanish breed came to be known as Florida Cracker cattle. Ranchers across America sought out the hardy cracker cattle to crossbreed with the larger European stock. The tough Florida Cracker cattle genetics strengthened Midwest herds and helped lead to what would become the American cattle industry.
So the cow, Ponce de Leon.
Yep.
A little respect here.
A lot of respect for
Wow.
Ponce de Leon. I really did not know that he brought all those things to Florida.
Yeah, pretty cool.
including cattle.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
But it makes sense because you drive up and down the state of Florida, you see cattle all over the place, and that's because Florida is a billion-dollar cattle industry, and that is a huge number.
When Ponce de Leon stepped foot on the sandy beaches of Florida's East Coast in 1513, it marked a pivotal moment in history. It was the beginning of a journey that would cultivate this wild and exotic place into one of the most fertile farming environments in the world. Agriculture is one of the strongest pillars of Florida's economy, with assets of upwards to $100 billion annually. Plus, the agricultural industry provides nearly 100,000 jobs for Floridians. Earlier, Chef Justin and I had the privilege to cook with Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam. I asked him for a little perspective on Florida's $100 billion agricultural industry.
There's just so much about Florida agriculture people don't realize. It's huge. It's the second largest industry in the state, right behind tourism.
Right.
We've got the largest beef cattle herd in the country is between Disney and Cape Canaveral. And of course, one of our signature industries is citrus. When you look at the diversity and the bounty of what Florida produces, from the seafood, the grouper, the stone crabs, the wonderful vegetables that come into season in the wintertime, it's very cool. We're real proud of that.
That's a good point.
And we like to shine a light on the folks that are building their piece of the American dream here in Florida, and that's what makes Florida so special.
Hey, so next time you grab an orange, know you're holding over 500 years of Florida history in your hands.
That's right, whether it's beef, seafood, fruit, or vegetables, make it fresh from Florida. Happy anniversary, Florida.
Coming up next, Chad's breaking out the rod and Mac Daddy reel to bring a massive black tip to the beach.
Been fishing for the last 2 days for these things. We catch 2 in the last hour. Today on the show, we're going to show you how to do land-based shark fishing. Oh gosh!
Every winter, the black-tipped shark migrates from the North Atlantic to our warm South Florida waters, and in epic numbers. So when schools of black tips are just off the beach, it's time to break out the rod and Mac Daddy reel. This is the blue-collar man's answer to extreme angling. It's time to strap on the harness, dig your heels in the sand, and get ready for the fight of your life.
Silently running off of Florida's east coast is an enormous current of water called the Gulf Stream. The fish of the Atlantic, it's like Interstate 95. Season to season, these fish use this Gulf Stream like a giant highway, moving up and down Florida's east coast.
To help us catch a shark, we tag shark phenom Josh Jorgensen. Step 1, it's all about location.
The best time is to come in South Florida between the dates of mid-January to mid-April.
Okay.
That's the black tip migration. You're guaranteed to catch a shark.
Step 2, tackle.
We got a swivel up here,
Okay,
6 feet of 500-pound mono.
okay.
Right here, we got another swivel, a more heavy swivel than the first one. We got a snap with a 6-ounce pyramid sinker. We got about 15 inches of wire, and we got a circle hook. You want a pretty heavy-duty reel. If you can get 400 yards of line on your reel, braided line is the best for surf casting, and you're gonna want to use a minimum of 65 pounds.
What are we looking for as far as a good shark fishing rod?
You want something between 11 and 13 feet, and something that's gonna cast more than 4, 8, or 10 ounces, because standard sinker, you're gonna use it between a 5 and 6 ounce pyramid sinker.
You'll also need a fishing harness when you hook into that big one. Step 3, shark bait 101.
You're gonna look for bloody and oily fish.
Okay.
Jacks, bonita, ladyfish, blue runners, stingray. The best part is it's very abundant. It's easy to catch.
But how would you get something like this out?
You're gonna kayak it out.
Seriously.
I'm serious.
This boat is our boat, so we have to be okay with that. It is just a kind of a banana peel that floats.
So as I got into the kayak and started paddling out, I have to admit, I was a little nervous to say the least.
I hope he's okay.
So I quickly dropped the bait and made my way back to the shore.
Whew, definitely one of the craziest things I've ever done.
Step 4, catch and release.
You gotta get on the harness. He's huge. I'm on the harness. I'm on the harness.
The power of the shark was unbelievable.
You still there?
Oh yeah.
I dug my heels in the sand as Josh clipped the harness into place.
You know it's big, but we gotta get him as fast as possible to make sure that he survives.
Oh, there he is.
It was amazing to see such a big fish in all its glory. Its skin and eye color were spectacular. And although the black tip is considered an apex predator, there's never been a fatal attack contributed to this species. Josh quickly removed the hook, tagged, and measured him.
Look at that. Tag is in. 60 inches. Absolutely amazing. Pulling something this big from the ocean onto shore is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
After measuring and tagging this big boy, we sent him back on his way.
Hey, to learn more about land-based shark fishing, go to our website, howtodoflorida.com. You're watching How to Do Florida. We'll be right back.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it, but more importantly, I hope you feel encouraged to get out and do Florida. For more info on this episode, go to howtodoflorida.com, where you'll find bonus how-to videos and all of Chef Justin's yummy recipes. And be sure to check out our Do Florida page, which is our giant list of events and activities all over the Sunshine State. Yeah, you should check it out.
You all right, man? Yeah. Skimboards for rubber people. You just said wax on, wax off. That's a direct quote from the Karate Kid. That is a classic from my era. Where did you hear that reference?
The camera guy just said it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm doing a skimboard trick down there at the beach. I need somebody to pull me as fast as you can on this ski rope. Would you be willing to do that?
No.
It won't take but 5 minutes.
No,
and about 600 calories. You won't do it?
I don't think so.
Holy cow, it actually works. Skims a lot works. Roman.
Bye. What is this, from the 80s?
Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yes.